Hi guys, yes, it's me, I'm back. I know it's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been about 3 months since I've posted, or shall I say since I've spoken to you guys, because I have posted some shorts on my channel. But yeah, I'm back, I'm here, and I've got some new makeup to show you guys, so I'm really excited to get into it. I hope you guys have been doing well. I hope you've been okay. Hello, if you are new here, my name is Belle, and of course if you are not new, then thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for sticking around with me. We are nearly on 1k, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, let's stop rambling. I know I'm excited, but we're just gonna get right into it, so let's do that right now. So as you can tell by the title, we've got some new makeup from Shein. I've only just recently found out about this, and I only picked up their foundation, which comes in this packaging, and also their setting powder. Now the setting powders are 2-in-1. There's a face and an under eye setting powder duo. The bottom shade is darker than the top, so the bottom shade, which is the loose powder, is more so for your face, and then the top part is for your under eyes. So I will show you guys a little bit more of that as we get into it. So a lot of you probably already watched my previous Shein foundation review, which was their matte foundation. I've got it here. I've not worn this foundation in a long time. I want to say I've sort of changed the type of shades that I like to wear. Sometimes I want to match my chest, sometimes I don't. It depends, it really depends. But obviously this foundation, if you watched that video, you would know that it was lighter than my face, because obviously my face is darker than the rest of my body. But if you didn't watch this foundation review, I will leave it in the link below somewhere. Onto the foundation. So I couldn't tell which one would be my shades. There was actually 3 that I was interested in, but I ended up buying 2. Now I really didn't want to do this. I don't like buying 2 foundations just to see which one suits me well, but I've not seen any videos on this one for like darker skin, only light complexions. Yeah, it was a bit difficult, but I ended up buying 2 foundation shades. I bought the shade Mocha and Nutmeg, so let me take it out of the packaging. Now, bougie, just like the other one. This one is a creamy satin packet, creamy lid, whereas the matte one is black, and obviously that also came with the black little pouch. This is the new hydrating foundation, and obviously the old one is the matte foundation. I also noticed that the matte one was a little bit more expensive than the hydrating one. So I think the matte one is actually £1 more than the hydrating one. But yeah, I'm going to swatch both of these on my face and see what they look like. Just look at the packaging. Oh my gosh. Sheglam, baby, Sheglam. So these are the 2 foundations. Again, I've got the shade Nutmeg and the shade Mocha. I don't know which one's lighter, which one's darker. We're going to try it out now. So let me do a little pump. So this one is Nutmeg. So I'm actually going to swatch on the lower part of my neck as well as on my face, just to see which one would look better. I just hope that at least one works for me, because otherwise I wasted money. So this one's Mocha. The shade looks the same, but the undertone is different. That's what I can tell. So that's what it's looking like on my neck, and then on my face. Such a hard decision. I feel like Nutmeg I could make work more than Mocha, because Mocha is leaning more red for me personally. If I look at it here, I hope it's coming across like this on camera too, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I feel like Mocha would look good in the summer season, but this is the problem. I don't want to be having 2 foundations. Do you get what I mean? I've got enough foundations. Yeah. I'm gonna go in with this shade here, which is called Nutmeg. Okay, let's do this. So I'm just gonna quickly prime using this Catrice Cosmetics Hydro primer. Okay, so primer done. Moving on to the foundation now. Again, I'm using the shade Nutmeg, because a lot of the times, even when I say the shades, people tend to ask me what shade I'm using. So I'm using the shade Nutmeg, and I'm actually gonna use a, let me do a pump on my hands. Oof, I did a full pump. It's a generous pump. I mean, you can tell by the way it's dripping. It's a hydrating, a bit watery foundation. I think I've probably put too much foundation already, because recently, or should I say the last couple of months, I've really been enjoying like minimal facial applications when it comes to foundation. So I tend to not even go in with a full pump anymore. I usually use like half the pump. This is just me color correcting with NARS New Caledonia, but obviously there's some days where I want to have a bit more of a fuller coverage, and the foundation amount doesn't increase, it's more so just the rest of the facial application. I don't know if I'm gonna get to using a whole pump. If I do, I'm probably gonna have to soak it up in the sponge. This shade is actually looking pretty good, but I want to blend it out and see what it sets as, because sometimes the shade looks good, but when you blend it out, it doesn't look that great. Oh, Sheglam. Just look at it. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you like hydrating foundations the way I do, you might love this. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love this formula. This is my kind of formula. I've not really been into matte foundation so much. I've been loving those more hydrating, lightweight foundations, and this is giving me that right now. The shade, it looks pretty good, but let me just move my mirror and check again. Okay, so I did just move my mirror to check the shade. I feel like this shade is actually good. It's interesting because I feel like previously I would have made more of an attempt to match closer to my chest, so I probably would have ended up going a shade up, but I feel like this shade in comparison to my face and my chest, if I'm like going for like an in-between shade of my face and my chest, I feel like this one works pretty well, and the undertone looks pretty good too. I know some of you guys might be interested in seeing how the other one works for me, which is Mocha. I don't usually do this, but just in case you want to see how it applies, I'm just going to put a tiny bit here and then we can see what that looks like. So let me get a brush. What brush shall I use, since I don't really use brushes to blend my foundation? I'm just going to use this. Maybe I can make both work. Oh, so oh no. Too warm. I like the undertone of that much better. It is just as I thought. This shade is too warm. I knew it would be, but just in case you wanted to see what it looked like on me, now you can see. I'm gonna finish applying Nutmeg. Feel like Nutmeg just has the right undertone for me, so sometimes it's tricky choosing a foundation shade online, but because I have a good idea of what undertones I like and what undertones will work for me, it makes it a lot easier for me. I usually go for like golden undertone, but I can get away with a bit of olive, and sometimes I can actually get away with neutral as well. It depends, but obviously preferably I always prefer to go for my usual, which is a golden undertone. So I do have a little bit of dark marks on my forehead, and I feel like so far this is a light coverage, but I feel like it could potentially be medium, like buildable, so I can't see this being a full coverage foundation. And to be honest, I'm completely fine with that, because my full coverage foundations, I don't really reach for them no more. I have to be honest, I don't really reach for them. I'm so glad that I switched up my backdrop. I'm sure you guys can see there's no plant with us. The colour has slightly changed, and I'm actually using less lights. Before I was using 4 lights to film my videos. Now I get to only use 2, sort of changed up my setup a little bit and where I film, but I hope it's still looking good. I know I've been away for a while, so hopefully, you know, it doesn't affect the footage too much. This is what my skin's looking like, and I'm not gonna lie, Sheglam did that. I'm really impressed with how this foundation is looking on my skin. I think my skin looks so beautiful, so glowy, luminous, hydrating without looking oily. I feel like it looks good. What do you guys think? Let me know below. If you have dry skin, you're probably gonna love this. If you have oily skin, that's a good question, because it's a hydrating foundation. A lot of people with oily skin don't usually like hydrating foundations. It says it provides a nice hydration and a gorgeous glow. Say bye-bye to cakey, pore clogging, which is the case. My skin's looking nice and glowy. It's looking nice and hydrating as well. And it says it will give you a barely there feel. I don't feel like I have anything heavy on my skin, so I think we are good on that. So that's pretty much all it says. I don't know anything else about the claims in particular. So for my concealer, I've really been enjoying this Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. I know I've not introduced this on my channel. It's kind of new, but kind of not, because obviously Anastasia came out with it. But the shade that I'm using is 21. This is the Magic Touch concealer by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I just love like how warm and golden it is. And it's just been so perfect with covering up like any dark circles or dark marks, shall I say. Also, whilst we are blending, so if you follow me on Instagram, you may already know this, but I've got some news to share with you guys. You might see in some of my videos previously, if you've been watching them, that I would have indicated why I specifically got like darker foundations, because I said that I would end up needing them when it gets really hot in the summer. And basically, I'm able to share it with you guys that in 6 months' time, I'm moving to Australia. Yes! I'm moving to Australia in 6 months' time. I'm so excited, a little bit nervous, but more excited. And it's just going to be a new journey for me. I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, I still plan to film content. I don't know if I'm going to be vlogging because I'm not much of a vlogger, but I will definitely still be putting out videos. So I will be taking my camera with me. So yeah, I'm really excited. So if any of you guys are from Australia, let me know. Please say hi below. I would love to know. But yeah, so that's the exciting news, something that I wasn't able to share previously, but now I can. Today I'm just feeling for something a little bit more toned down. Maybe in my next video I might do a little bit more. We'll see. But how is everyone? How are you? How have you been? Hope you guys have honestly been good. I know I was a bit MIA, and thank you so much to everyone that reached out to ask if I was okay. Obviously I may have taken a little bit longer to reply because I was off social media. I just needed to take a break. I've had obviously a lot going on in the background, not just preparing for my move, but working on myself mentally. I've not been 100%, been struggling a little bit with my social anxiety, which I thought I was completely healed from or done with, so to speak, but turns out that's not the case, because I went to the gym the other day. I've started going to the gym, and the gym was completely packed full of men, as it usually is, and I just completely freaked out. I couldn't exercise. Went back a couple days later, and I went a little bit later in the evening, and I was so proud of myself that I managed to get through it. So yay to me. That's something that I'm working on, and I share this because I know that I'm not the only one, and this is something that is normal and a lot of people struggle with, and it's okay. It's okay. So if you also struggle with social anxiety, you're not alone, and now you know that I struggle with it a little bit as well, so I hope that gives you like a little bit of encouragement. Okay, so setting powder. So I did mention that I also picked up a setting powder from Sheglam. This is the Insta-Ready face and under eye setting powder duo. So the bottom is a loose powder, so let's see what that looks like, and this is what the shade looks like. There's a mirror here as well, so I've just swatched it on my wrist so you guys can see that's what it looks like. I'm thinking, I don't know, let's just do it. Oh wow, that is quite light, isn't it? I say it's light because the setting powders that I've been using recently have been a little bit more of a warm tone yellow. Oh my gosh. I mean, you guys can see the effect that it's having, right? You guys can see what that's done to my skin. I really wanted to get the loose powder version of like an under eye setting powder. Hope that makes sense. But I do already have quite a few loose powders, so that's why I got the darkest shade. This one is Coca Loca. It's the darkest shade. Wow. And this is looking, I don't know, do you guys think it's looking too light, or is it just me? Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie, it feels so weird. I didn't expect it to brighten up my under eyes this much. Anyways, we've already applied it, so we're just gonna keep going. But I'm gonna move on to the bottom part, which is the darker shade that's supposed to be for your face. So I'm going to try this on my face and let's see, because I know some people do like to apply setting powders on their face. I don't really like to do that, but for you I will. So that's what the shade looks like. I feel like it's looking a bit warm, but I'm going to try it regardless. I'm going to play it safe and try it around my mouth, because that's where I usually put setting powder if I do. So okay, and I put it here specifically because of my hyperpigmentation. This is not a powder that I would use all over my face, just because I don't usually go over my whole face with powder. Okay, for today I'm going to apply it on the outer perimeter of my face so you guys can see it a bit more, just in case you're interested in picking this up. So usually I don't like to do this unless I'm bronzing. The powder is a bit thicker than I expected. I guess I'm comparing it to a bronzing powder, but it's not, it's a setting powder. What do you guys think? What do you think? Do you like it or no? I'm not sure yet. Let me finish applying it and then we will see. Well, I will say that I'm glad that the powder on top, which is the under eye setting powder, is as bright as it is, because I feel like this has warmed me up quite a bit. Now, technically, I feel like I don't actually need to bronze after I've done this, because I feel like this powder has applied as a bronzer for me, for my shade. But if you're darker than me, then I think this face powder would look good on you. But I am going to finish the rest of my face, put some mascara on, something to the lips, finish my brows, and I will be right back. Okay, so here we have the finished look. Not gonna lie, I think you guys probably already knew throughout the video how much I was absolutely loving this foundation. I set my face with this Catrice Cosmetics setting spray. I've used it before and I just love how radiant my skin is looking. The Anastasia blush definitely plays a part. I didn't even bronze my face. Me not bronze? Has that ever been known on this channel? Me not bronze? It's the first time. It's the first time. But the powder works really well as a substitute for bronzer. The powder on top, which is the pressed powder, if I can open this, I'm not a big fan of it without a setting spray. I feel like it's too matte for my liking under my eyes in terms of my preferences of what I like. I feel like it's a little bit thin and I just felt like it didn't set my under eyes very well. Maybe I left the concealer hanging around for too long because my under eye started creasing already. But I'm gonna use it again to see how I really feel about it. But from first impressions at the moment, I'm not that mad about the pressed powder, but I do like the loose powder underneath. I would definitely use this again on those days that I don't want too much, don't want to bronze. The foundation, I love the foundation, and I definitely prefer the hydrating foundation a lot more than the matte foundation. I guess it depends on your preference in terms of what you like. If you are a regular on this channel, then you already know I love the radiant glowy type foundations. I'm not a big fan of matte foundations. My skin type is combination. I have a mixture between oily and dry depending on what time of the season it is, but I have combination skin. I love the hydrating foundation and I can definitely see this being an everyday for me, so I highly recommend the hydrating foundation. If you are someone that loves hydrating foundation, it's super affordable. I think I got this for £6.95. I know the matte foundation is either £7 or £8 something. It's like £1 more, but it's totally worth it in my opinion. The shipping was pretty fast as well. I didn't have any issues. I've bought makeup from Sheglam before. I've not had issues. If you are interested in the matte foundation, I have just recently seen that they did extend their shade. So if I was someone that was into matte foundations, I wouldn't use this shade. In terms of what kind of shades I like to wear at the moment, I probably wouldn't wear this shade. I think this shade is probably lighter than what I like to go for nowadays. I'm actually just swatching on my chest, so I would actually add a hint of a darker foundation with this matte one if I was to wear it again, but I still think the shade is actually pretty nice for my chest. But I'm moving to Australia. Australia is known to be quite hot. I don't know if these foundations that I used to match to my chest will work for me anymore like they used to. Who knows? We don't know. But anyways, this is my review, my first impressions and my final thoughts and opinions. The other foundation shade, I'm probably going to have to try it again in the summer. I think I'm going to keep it with me because of the formula. I really like the formula. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my comeback. I know some of you guys don't enjoy me posting shorts. YouTube has changed now. Sometimes shorts are going to be posted, but I will make an effort to post a little bit more long form videos. I did a poll. By the time you see this, you probably won't see that. I was asking you what you preferred in terms of me posting, long form videos, shorts, or both. So if you haven't voted, then let me know in the comments below what you do prefer so that I can take that into consideration when I'm actually creating content. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video regardless. Do give me a thumbs up. Let me know what your thoughts are on this foundation. If you've tried it already, if you're interested in picking it up, what do you think? Let me know. And I hope I will see you all in my next one. Bye.